4-year tour from North America. I'm the CEO of MT Studios, and very briefly to say what MT Studios stands for. We are a company who does two things. We do one thing is landscape architecture, and the other part of it is interactive learning experiences. In fact, we combine art, architecture, and interactive learning experiences together, and that makes us quite unique in the field. And when you go into Sultans, you will see that these three components are very much married to each other. We are based in Dubai, also in Cape Town, South Africa, and also we have an office in Bahrain. And in the Science Center field, we not only developing exhibitions, but we also very much involved in training. For instance, in Bahrain, we're doing a management contract for the operations for a new science center, where we train about 15 local Bahrainis to get used to call it world best practice in operations of science centers. And in that respect, we're going to collaborate a lot with science centers also from here, from Asia and around the world. When I say that this is a premiere for Sultans of Science in Singapore, it was at the 6th Science Center World Congress in Cape Town that the idea was mooted to bring Sultans of Science to Asia, and Singapore Science Center, and also the Petro Science in Malaysia, and also the National Science Museum in Thailand, in Bangkok, took the initiative to take this actually step forward. When the origin of the exhibition is about 8 years ago, and if you ask the question in the world, and you ask people actually what did Muslims contribute to science, then many of them will say 0. Now, that question itself was for me quite intriguing, because 8 years ago, MT Studios, we were doing a team shopping mall, not a museum, a team shopping mall in Dubai. That was the Ibn Battuta Mall. And whilst we developed the storyline and created the whole ambience of that shopping mall, we also I came across, in Ibn Battuta was the famous traveler who traveled actually from Tangiers all on his way for a 28-year journey to go to Mecca, traveled to all these different different countries. And what is unique on that, because in that period of time, of the 14th century, he documented these travels in the Rihla journal, what well describes actually how society was in different countries during that time. Now, during that journey too, he came also across some interesting inventions, and one I came up to is I saw 8 years ago an image of an interesting feature, an elephant, and an elephant with a kind of a structure or castle on top of it. And I thought initially that would be a quite interesting feature to put in the shopping mall as a sculpture. But how more I started to research it, and how more I started to look into the detail, it came up that it was a very ingenious clock device, what was invented by Al-Jazari, what I learned afterwards as the father of mechanical engineering. And you will see in the exhibition several of his inventions actually displayed there. We recreated, in fact, or reconstructed that invention in its full glory, in its full functionality. And that laid the foundations for me and for our team to research the topic further and to create a full extent of a permanent exhibition, what started in Dubai and then developed further, and then over the 8 years is in fact brought it to Sultans of Science. There are about 85 different scholars what have been involved in it globally on the different topics. So it's not MT Studios, although we have our own scholars who's researched it. There are several scholars, in fact, who really worldwide actually made their contribution in terms of the content and the richness and the correctness what came out of it. I'm not going to say much more about the exhibition because that's up to you to explore it. And I wish you well, but of course.